well, more or less at the same time, because I was in high school, they came to create militia. You know, they started, it was done everywhere from high school up to the university, women organization, this militia Tony was talking about. And they came to my high school and they said you have to be 15 to join the militia. So actually I was only 13, but because I was very tall, I lied. And I said I was 15 years old. I am not telling you that it's proper to lie for the revolution. In that case, I just managed to get into the militia myself. When Bay of Pigs invasion came, we were all mobilized. Of course, I still was pretending to be 15. We were mobilized, and my duty was a very simple one, I will tell you. At that time, the revolution had brought from the rural areas hundreds of girls, teenagers girls, who were living in the countryside. They were going to organize some dressmaking courses for them so they can go back to the rural areas and have a means of employment. At that time, you have to remember, these were mostly illiterate men coming from the rural areas, and of course, the parents had trusted the revolution to bring these girls to the capital. And it was very important because, you know, you always hear that capital is a dangerous place for girls and so on. So they trusted the revolution to bring their daughters to the capital to learn some skills. And then what I was asked to do was to patrol the neighborhood where these girls were being housed. Actually, they were staying at the houses of the very rich who had left the country in very fancy neighborhoods, Miramar and so on. They were living in these houses. So my very humble duty was to patrol day and night the streets because they wanted to make sure that if something happened, nothing will happen to these girls and that they will be defended by the militia. Of course, I stayed there for about 2 weeks, and after that, of course, it will be difficult for me to keep on lying because they were offering me to go permanent to the army. So, so I decided it was time to stop that. What I did was I went back to my high school and I joined the literacy campaign. And I would like to share with you an anecdote about the literacy campaign. I had a student who was a very old man, very, very old in the 60s, and unfortunately the revolution had come too late for him. He was in his late 60s, his eyesight was very bad, and he didn't even know how to hold a pencil because he had never done that. So he was involved in this literacy campaign, and I was supposed to teach him to read and write. But after a few weeks, we realized that he could not managed to do that. He was very old, he was not in good health. So he asked me, please, can you at least help me to sign my name, to learn to write my name? So I spent several weeks helping this man to help him to how to write his name. I will always remember because this is something that it remains with me. His name was Alberto Rodriguez, and he wanted to be able to sign Alberto Rodriguez. Because up to that moment, whenever he was supposed to sign an official paper, he had to put a cross. Okay? He will sign with a cross. So I will tell you that after a long time, this man was able to sign his name, and the first time he went to sign an official paper, he was able to sign his name. So for the first time in 60-something years, he was somebody. He was a human being. And this is something that was very important. And that's why Playa Giron happened. So no ever anymore in Cuba, anybody has to sign his cross.
celebrating 50 years of the Bay of Pigs invasion. And in essence, it's kind of like it sets a historical context in the sense that 50 years ago, the United States imperialist forces were up to no good. And to this day, you just have to look at the Middle East and you see that it's still going on.
It's just, I find it interesting to see where people are at, considering that the people in that room are going to be the ones that are going to be, you know, changing the world essentially. To be involved in these kind of topics, it's not, you know, there's no other gain other than to do positivity. And the reason I came today is just to see where everyone was at, you know, what kind of opinions they had, what, you know, and what kind of angles they had, and I thought it was all positive, it was all good, and hopefully the more of these things happen, the more people get informed, and you know, the more we educate our friends, and yeah, essentially make progress.
I think the more we can educate ourselves through meetings like this, through reading about the programs that are happening, the better, and the best thing we can do in our struggle for equality and for justice and for freedom is to bring people together, and that's what we're doing with meetings like this.
Work Around the Blockade specifically draws the link between socialism in Cuba and the gains that it's brought and the struggle in this country against the neoliberal austerity cuts that are being imposed on us now and the struggle for socialism here. We believe that if you look around the world, see what imperialism has done to countries in Africa, Latin America, all over the world, less developed countries, it's quite clear that capitalism can't provide for humanity as a whole. And Cuba's example shows that socialism is an example that can provide for the whole of humanity on the basis of equality, solidarity, and mutual respect between countries. So we use that example in our campaigning here to bring the message back to Britain and show that socialism is a viable alternative.
Viene quemando la brisa con soles de primavera para